Welcome back to Buzz Recaps. Today, I will explain a romantic drama film released in 2023. Before moving ahead, like this video and subscribe to our channel. The movie begins in 1986, where we see two friends named Ravi and Shayo. They used to study together, and they were very good friends. They were running away from a mango farm after stealing mangoes. And then Ravi gives a box of coal to Shayo and tells her that this coal is from Mahalakshmi's temple. Later, Shayo used to live with her grandmother because her mother had died and her father got married again. That's why he left Shayo with his grandmother, and every week he used to come there with his wife and child so that he could ask Shayo's grandmother for a share in Shayo's property. Meanwhile, Shayo's grandmother tells him that the property belongs to Shayo, and she will not give him that property. After hearing that, Shayo's father gets very angry and he leaves with his wife. Seeing her father fighting over the property, Shayo cries a lot at the temple of Mahalakshmi. Ravi comes to meet her and tells her that she should not worry, because everything will be fine soon. Suddenly, Ravi's father also comes there and sends Ravi home. He touches Shayo the wrong way and asks her why she doesn't come to see him. At that moment, it's revealed that he used to do very wrong things with Shayo. At night, Shayo finds out that Ravi and his father have died in the fire in the house. Shayo cried after knowing that her best friend had died. After that, 10 years later, we saw a woman who was running in the dark night, and the sound of her anklets was very loud. Her hands and head were lit with a lamp, whose light was not extinguishing at all, and she was running very fast. The next morning, when the villagers wake up, they find something written on the wall, and in that village there was a man named Kashi who was educated, and his friend Puli could not see with his eyes. After that, Puli asked him what was written on the wall, and he tells him that there are two names written there who were in a relationship despite being married, which means they had an extramarital affair. The man whose wife's name was written on the wall. When he comes there, he gets very angry, and he immediately goes home to kill his wife. However, when he comes home, sees that his wife and her lover have killed themselves at the well. Seeing that, the villagers get very worried and think, how did that happen in their village? After that, a police officer named Maya comes to investigate the deaths, while the villagers tell her that the landlord is their owner, and if he does not give permission, then she cannot take those bodies for post-mortem. After some time, the landlord comes there, and he forbids Maya, and tells her that she cannot take the dead bodies. Meanwhile, Maya explains to him that she believes those deaths could be murder, not suicide. That's why it was important to do post-mortem. Still, the landlord does not listen to her and tells her that it was a suicide and nothing else. Moreover, there was also a doctor named Vishwanatham in that village who was very kind, and he used to help the poor people. If people did not have money, he would still treat them for free. After 3 to 4 days, there was a wedding happening in the village, and everyone came to the wedding. Meanwhile, there was a man named Gurja who says that he thinks that maybe Shiva might have murdered those people. Shiva was the wedding photographer who got angry after hearing his name, and then he starts fighting Gurja. Because of them, the whole village starts fighting with each other. Meanwhile, when the landlord's wife comes there, everyone pretends as if nothing had happened there. Moreover, the landlord's wife was a religious woman, and she was always involved in the veneration. That's why the people there used to respect her a lot. Later, the priest who was in charge of the temple of Mahalakshmi told his wife that the temple was going to organize a fair, and they had shortage of money. That's why he went to the landlord's house to ask him for money. However, the landlord refused him and said that he does not believe in God. When the priest was leaving his house, the landlord's wife called him and gave him a lot of money so that he could organize that fair. Later, when Maya was going towards the village in her car, she suddenly saw someone wearing a Devi mask, and when she stopped the car and went to see there was no one there. Seeing that, she gets surprised and thinks about what she saw. The next night, a fair was organized where everyone celebrated with a blast. And we can also see the man wearing the mask of the goddess, who was dancing there. The next day, it was again Tuesday, and someone again wrote on the wall in the morning. And when all the villagers went to see it, they saw that there were 2 more people's names written there, who were still in a relationship with each other despite being married. Seeing their names, everyone was surprised and went to their house. However, they see that those people have hung themselves from the tree and killed themselves. Maya comes to investigate again, and she tells them that it was clear that the deaths were not suicide, it was murder. because so many people could not commit suicide in just few days. She calls Shiva so that he could take photos of those dead bodies, and we can see Shiva was very scared at that moment. After that, the landlord comes there, and Maya explains to him that she would have to investigate that case, and for that he will need bodies for post-mortem. When the landlord allows her, she takes the bodies for post-mortem. Maya starts thinking about who could have killed these people, and the people before them. She also digs those other dead bodies from their graves. However, when their graves were dug, the dead bodies were already gone, which means that they could definitely find some evidence in those dead bodies. That's why the killer wants them to not get any evidence. Later, the villagers decide that they will be watching at night, and whoever was writing on the wall, they will catch him. At night, everyone starts to guard, and after a while, they see a man writing on the wall, and when they catch him, the man turns out to be Shiva's younger brother. On the other hand, at night, when the doctor was going to his house from the clinic, he heard a girl crying in the banana fields. When he went to check there to see, he saw the soul of Shayo. She jumped into the well, and the doctor was shocked to see her. After that, we are shown the timeline of a few months earlier. We see Shayo was young, and she used to go to college, and she was very beautiful and attractive. That's why all the boys in the neighborhood used to look at her. Shayo had a professor in college who liked her very much, and Shayo also liked him very much. And they were in a relationship, and they would also get intimate. Shayo started liking him with her heart and feeling that he truly loves her. However, one day, Shayo found out in college that he had married another girl. She felt very bad about it and went to talk to him, while the professor pushed her and said that he can never love a girl like her. She was heartbroken and had a nervous breakdown. At the same time, she wanted pleasure. That's why she started making relationships with all the boys in the village. She has become so bad that the villagers would do anything with her, and she won't say anything. One day, the villagers were tired of her behavior and what she was doing to the village, and the villagers went to talk to the landlord and told him everything. The landlord decided that they would throw Shayo out of the village. That's why they went to Shayo's house and beat her badly by picking her up from the house. And the landlord threw her out of her village, and people hit her with a lot of stones. Because of that, Shayo felt very bad, and she jumped into the well and killed herself. Moreover, the story comes back to the present, where Maya was interrogating Shiva's brother. And Shiva's brother tells her that he loves Gurja's sister very much, and he thought that if he writes the name of both of them, then Gurja will get him married to his sister to save himself from humiliation. That's why he went to write. However, he was caught, although he has not committed all these murders. After that, when she matches his handwriting with the text on the wall, she finds out that he was not the murderer. That's why she lets him go from there. Later, the next Tuesday night, all the villagers again started to guard. Meanwhile, the same lady from a few days ago was running fast at night, and when a man comes in front of her, he is scared to see her makeup. That's why he immediately runs away from there. He tells everyone in the village that he has seen the devil himself, while no one believes him and says that he was in his illusion. Moreover, the lady who was running at night as a Devi was the wife of the priest, and they had a ritual for many years. And that's how they used to worship the goddess. Every Tuesday, she used to run wearing anklets without anyone noticing, and that was their way of worshiping the goddess. On the other hand, in the village, the doctor goes in front of the wall without anyone's notice, and he starts writing on the wall. However, Maya comes there and catches him, red-handed, and told him that she had doubts that maybe he was behind the killings, because he was the most decent person in the village and no one suspected him. Maya also tells him that he told everyone that he had seen the Shayo ghost, while actually that was a lie and nothing else. At that moment, the doctor understands that he has been caught, and that's why suddenly he takes out a needle from his bag and injects it in Maya, because of which Maya gets unconscious. Later, when Maya opens her eyes, she finds herself tied up, and she tells the doctor that she will put him behind bars. And the doctor tells her that first she should know everything why he was doing all that. He tells her that a few months ago in the jungle, she found Shayo in a very bad condition, and he had brought her to the hospital and treated her. Shayo was very scared, so he took her to the lady doctor, and when the lady doctor checked her, she found out that Shayo was a nymphomaniac. Moreover, nymphomania is a disease that causes sexual pleasure in humans, and even for a moment a person could not live without pleasure. That was the reason that whatever she used to see a man, she would get intimate with him, and she would beat herself to control her emotions. Nymphomaniacs were hard to cure diseases, because a human has to control its sexual feelings. The doctor also tells her that he had kept her like his daughter, and she also started to consider him her father, and she also took care of him. Later, when Shiva was searching for the rider in the forest, he saw the masked man in front of him, who started fighting with him. Shiva stabbed the masked man, and his stomach started bleeding. At that moment, the masked man picks up a trident and hits him, and the trident goes through his body, and Shiva dies instantly. On the other hand, the doctor tells Maya that Shayo was very upset, and she was completely alone and she needed a partner. Later one day, suddenly Shayo's childhood friend Ravi came to meet her, who was alive, and she was very happy to see him alive. Ravi told her that many years ago, one day he saw his father touching her badly, and that's why he killed her father and set fire to his house so that people would think that he also died. After that day, he was following Shayo like a shadow, and he used to live in the temple of the goddess, and people used to bring food for goddesses. He would eat that food. Shayo was very happy to get back with her childhood friend, and soon they were going to get married. One day, Ravi got the news that Shayo has committed suicide. When he saw Shayo's dead body, they found out that her death was not a suicide. She was killed by 6 people who were from the villagers, and 4 of those people were already dead. And one of those 2 people remaining, Ravi must have killed one of them as well. Maya asks him who are the other 2 people, and the doctor tells him that the other 2 people are Shiva and the landlord's wife. Both of them are in a relationship, and the landlord does not know anything about them. They get intimate every day at her house. Maya then tells him that the landlord's wife is a decent woman, while the doctors tell her that she has married the landlord only for his money, and she pretends to be decent in front of the villagers. The doctor also tells her that Shayo had seen the landlord's wife and photographer Shiva together when they were getting intimate. And to keep her affair a secret, those 6 people together killed Shayo. Meanwhile, the landlord was outside, listening to their conversation, and then he goes to his house and burns his wife to death and kills her. Later, when Ravi completes the revenge of Shayo, he jumps into the well and kills himself. When everyone hears the news of the death of the landlord's wife, they come to her house and ask the landlord how she died. The landlord tells them that his wife was a great devotee of the goddess. That's right, she killed himself so that she could be with the goddess. Meanwhile, Maya understands that the landlord has killed his wife. However, she had a lot of pity for Shayo. That's why she leaves the doctor and everyone and leaves the village. At night, the landlord tells the doctor that when he was telling Maya about him, he was there. And when he heard the story, he killed his wife. The landlord asks him that when Shayo was dead, how did he know that those 6 people had killed Shayo? And the doctor tells him that Puli told him about Shayo's killers. Here it's revealed that Puli pretends to be blind in front of the villagers, so that he could get money and no one bothered him. In reality, he was normal and he could see. At the time of Shayo's death, he present in the same forest where those 6 people were killing Shayo, and he saw everything with his own eyes, and after the doctor came, he told him everything. That's why the doctor and Ravi planned and killed those 6 people. With that, the movie ends here. Thank you for watching the video. Make sure to subscribe and see you next time. Take care.